You know, of all the things I've been excited about in my life, this is
not one of them.
Almost on the list.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm David McCreary, and this is On Edge, with real questions and shocking answers. Today, I'm hanging out with Chris Cleveland from Stars Go Dim. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask some questions, and while we're talking, we're going to be playing a game that shocks the last person to press the button on these handles. The shock gets more intense over time, and we've got a few twists toward the end that makes it a little more challenging. So let's get started.
All right, so Chris, let's talk about the music, and a lot of your music shows and explains to us how important family is to you.
Yeah.
And I know that we've done research. I know that your mom taught you how to sing. She helped you restore a Mustang.
Yeah.
Your grandma taught you to play piano. Your grandpa had a barbecue restaurant and taught you business.
Deep.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay.
So, tell me what values and skills you're hoping to pass on to your kids and future generations, whether it's through music or just one-on-one interaction.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay. That's such a serious question for me to now have to wait for this thing.
Ouch!
Okay. So
I see, that was no fair. I was really listening to your... That got me good.
Yeah, I won. I just want to say on that.
Well, you won, but you didn't answer the question. You just kind of stalled.
I did stall, but it's a very important question. Listen, my family, God, you said all of that. So yeah, I grew up in a family of singers and ministers, and my dad's parents, they owned a barbecue restaurant that I grew up in. So they taught me kind of hard work. You know, my grandpa was a guy, like, he would get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to, start working. And before that, when he got out of high school, he got drafted by the Reds to pitch.
Oh, wow.
He could make more money in the oil fields. So he did that, and he would, this is before any really great communication. So he'd leave for days, maybe call home if he could find a phone, And so he just worked, and my parents have done that too, and shown me kind of what that is. And I remember talking to my grandpa before he passed away and kind of feeling guilty. I was like, Grandpa, I just sing for a living. You've like worked, He's like from that generation, and he was like, listen, just because we're doing something different, doesn't mean anything. You're still working hard. And he kind of encouraged me to chase my dreams and work smarter and not harder. And
that's good.
So those are kind of some of those things that I want to instill to my kids. Just digging in, working hard, and following and chasing your dreams.
And there's hope in the future generation, right? You see it. I mean, there's times when you get frustrated, but yeah, you see it.
No doubt.
You see it. Here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Answer the stinking question.
Yeah, I'm going
you just kind of rambled until it went off.
But that's a good, politician.
That's good. That's
true. We get some weird questions in these, so sometimes you've got to, stall for 10 seconds to get a good Jesus answer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some of the VIP things, so I'm pretty good at that.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about, you've mentioned before and see if I pronounce this right, cholesteatoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, in your ear, which is something that has affected you for a while, or I shouldn't say it may affected, is that the right word?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. How does having that impact your singing? Like, did you have to learn to sing a different way, or if you've had it always, do you feel like, how do you sing knowing that there's an ear thing? For lack of better words.
Yeah, so I'll give some background to this. I was born with a tumor called cholesteatoma. I'm going to watch this the whole time. And what that basically means is...
Dang it, Chris!
This is so great. I love this interview. Oh, you weren't ready for how competitive I am. I was born with a tumor called cholesteatoma, and basically they kind of knew that as soon as I was born, and so I had my first surgery when I was 18 months old.
Oh, wow.
And then, so I spent a lot of time in hospitals as a kid. So every year I would go in and have a surgery. They'd pull the tumor out and, try to fix things in there. I think I've had 16
surgeries?
Yeah, I lost track at some point. But this is how weird it was. When I was a kid, I just thought everybody once a year went and got their surgeries. I thought it was normal.
Wow.
So, I spent Christmases in the hospital and, birthdays, all kinds of stuff. And it's been something when it comes to singing that I just I've never known anything different. I've been deaf in my left ear, since I was a kid.
Oh wow! So I didn't know it led to that.
Yeah. So the only thing like visibly that it's done is some of it's been on like my facial nerve. So sometimes I talk out of the side of my mouth a little bit, or sing out of the side of my mouth. So that's probably the only thing that people would know.
Are doctors impressed with what you do for a living?
I think they probably got better things to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm impressed.
Pretty good.
I'm no doctor.
Yeah, in this business, everybody wants like an angle too, and want to kind of talk about these stories that you've overcome. And to me, this is that, but I've never wanted to kind of exploit it or try to gain some sort of recognition off of it. But I also want to say, a lot of people come to me and they want to pray for me or try and heal me in those moments, and which I've always been thankful and grateful for. But I also tell them, in moments that say, God, I think is using me through this. And just like kind of Paul had a thorn in his side in a way, I think that made his ministry more potent, you know what I mean? And I think God has been able to do that with me and say, listen, even though you have these things that you're have to deal with, I can still work through you in an incredible way.
That's good.
And so it's been interesting, but God's kind of taken care of me through it all.
Love it. This is the weird part. We have to go from such a serious thing to right back into some stupidity.
You know what? As long as I keep winning, I'm okay.
Well, and I have to bump up the intensity. It's time to bump up the intensity a little bit.
I feel bad for you.
So there's to level 2.
Oh man, how many levels does it go?
4.
To? Okay,
and we'll get
not
there.
11.
Spinal Tap. Come on, that's
How much more black could it be?
None
more
black.
Okay.
You have a psychology education?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's very impressive. Does it... I'm going to do this without holding it on to this time. Okay. And I'm going to win this time. I've got to win this. Maybe if I do my right hand. I'm right-handed.
Well,
makes sense? Are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
So
I hope it's broken and you just lose all day.
That could very well be. Have we tested these guys? No? That's a real funny joke.
It's all right.
So does your psychology education filter into your songwriting at all? Or do you have to kind of, for lack of better words, dumb it down a little bit? Are you too smart for...
Oh, no. Yeah, I got a psychology degree and an education degree. What? Stop that. It's not even fair. In 2008 from University of Tulsa, and I can't stop looking at this because it's just ridiculous. How long is it going to... Did I... No. I threw it before I even knew. Because I didn't see him get shot.
I was holding on very loosely.
You were, and you scared me. It was like a preemptive scare. I didn't even get shocked when I threw that. Shows you what my willpower is here. You know what the truth is? I went to college for so long. I started touring while I was in college, and Stars started out as like this mainstream pop band. So at the time I was touring around like all over with people like John Mayer and just random pop people. And so while I was finishing college, I was like, I need to find the easiest. Sorry, psychology people, but you know this. The easiest major I could just get out of here with.
Right.
And I really did love psychology, and I've got a lot of friends who are in that field and stuff. I think what that does is help us like be able to understand ourselves a little bit better, help understand people a little bit better, and hopefully have some conversation.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about songwriting, but I do have a degree in it. And
That's
it's
impressive.
a Bachelor of Science degree too.
Wow.
So there's not any psychology majors out there with Bachelor of Science.
That's
I
impressive.
took engineering math classes.
Let's go back to the early days of Stars Go Dim.
Okay.
When you won a CMT award.
Yeah.
You were on the cruise with John Mayer.
Yeah.
So back to those days, and if you look at older albums and you think of those as photo albums, are there snapshots in those albums that you really hold like near and dear to your heart? any certain songs, any time frame that...
Yeah, I think so. Stars started in 2007. We're just a mainstream band. I kind of said that a little bit earlier. So we played a lot of love songs, you know. So we travel around and play kind of all over the place with people like John Mayer. I think I played with Elton John and Billy Joel and like.
You played with Elton John and Billy Joel?
Yeah, keep looking up. It's gonna be great.
Yeah! Come on!
I'm so good at this.
There's no way you can be that fast. We need to check these out and see if this is working.
When I was a kid, you know, I had the holster, and we would do the, you know, this is what it feels like. It's the Old West shootout. I think of songs exactly how you described it, as like photo albums, you know what I mean? And so when a lot of guys think, like when they look at their old records or do these things, they're like, oh man, I can't believe I sang that or whatever. They hate listening to old stuff, but to me it really is like looking at, it's like, wow, remember when life was like this? It's like I go through, and I met my wife during that time and started my family kind of at the end of that thing before we started doing Christian music. So I can look back at that and see it with fond memories. Although, now this is funny, my son turns 7 next month, and he knows how to use YouTube now. So I walked downstairs the other day. He's got Alexa, and he's searched Stars Go Dim music videos, and he's watching all of these old music videos that are like 12 years old of these love songs, and he's like, Daddy, who are all these girls in the music videos? That's not Mom. And so I go upstairs and I'm like, having to explain this to our son is not very fun. I was like, your mom didn't want to be in these videos. Trust me, she did.
We're all actors.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty funny.
Wow. So that makes sense, because like I grew up listening to music and songs that any song I hear, like especially I grew up in the 80s, so any song I hear from the 80s, I instantly go back to that time.
Takes you like a moment, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy. I can only imagine how that is for like when you hear a song that you wrote. Yeah. So it means so much more than just "Come On Eileen" by Dexy's Midnight Runners. Yeah,
it can take you like to specific places, really random places, you know, make you remember people and things. Yeah. And that's kind of cool. I wasn't very good, like cell phones didn't exist like that back then. So you still had to carry cameras or whatever with you. So I tried to like just soak in all the memories rather than, you know, have 5 different cameras on me and stuff. So occasionally when that stuff happens, it's nice to remember.
Right. Whew, very good, man. You're answering very well, but I'm still really.
Are we gonna?
You want to try something? No, not yet, Chris. We're not updating. Let's do that. What do you think about that?
No, I'm undefeated on this. We're great. This is okay.
This is the worst episode ever. No offense, Chris.
Has anybody ever gone undefeated?
No! No! All right, we're gonna change things up a little bit.
Okay.
We got a challenge round.
Okay.
Here's what I know.
All right.
We're gonna blindfold ourselves. We're gonna be blindfolded, and we're gonna try a food, and we have to figure out what the food is.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Look at this.
Look at this. Did you just tell me to look at this? I got a blindfold on.
Oh, no.
And we've got, you know what the person that loses this challenge has to do, right?
No.
That person has to hold 2 handles for the rest of the game.
Dang it. Okay. Is it just sitting on the plate?
Oh yeah, I found it. I found it on the plate. Ugh. I'm feeling it.
You want me to grab it?
Can you feel it? Yeah.
I can touch it?
It's like a...
I think I know what this is.
I already want to take a guess.
The thing is this is thick.
It's like a pita chip. Is it a cinnamon pita chip?
That's not a thing.
That's a thing.
Why is it so thick?
It's really good. I was afraid it was gonna be nasty.
Yeah, I was too. It's pretty good too. I thought it was like a wonton for a second, but it's not.
I'm gonna say it's something cinnamony. It's a chip, and it's. All right,
the thing is that it's so thick it can't be like a graham cracker.
Right.
But it is graham cracker-esque.
I'll tell you what it is. This is gonna freak you guys out that I got this. It is like a dried, dried marshmallow, cinnamon dried like a marshmallow type thing. Am I right?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Can we take these off?
Yeah. Take them off. Oh.
Yeah, like the puffy thing.
No, this is like an ice cream sandwich, just dried up.
So he won?
I mean, I looked at it.
But he's...
You were closest.
I was closest. I think it's only fair that Chris holds two handles.
I'll hold two.
Christian music fans.
Okay.
Is there anything they do that just kind of make you want to roll your eyes? You like complain about, or I mean, any music fan can complain about some
Listen,
stuff.
here's what I think. I think you deserve this shot for that question. First of all, because
oh yeah! Woo!
did get me. Fine, it wasn't that bad.
Which one? Which one?
Both.
It got you in both? Maybe just shocked right through you.
Maybe it did.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh! That was...
Yeah, because it did feel a little bit like left to the right.
Yeah.
Like it went,
That felt like redemption.
I actually saw a thing the other day. I'm going to give a shout out to another artist because I thought what he said was kind of amazing. Torn just released a new record, and he was talking about the title of it. It's called Citizen of Heaven, and the summary of kind of what he was talking about was like, listen, we get caught up in all of our own kingdoms, right? We all do this. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian music fan or an Ohio State fan, or from Oklahoma. I don't know. I went to TU though, so the Sooners don't get all my love. But we get caught up in our own kingdoms and lose sight of the kingdom that we're truly citizens of. And I think we can all do that, and we all do that. And for me, I think life is a journey for me to find the kingdom of heaven here and to create it here. So when I write music and when I play music, when I go meet fans and talk to people on the road, what I'm trying to do is usher in a community with God and His kingdom and bring all those people with me.
That's good.
And because I do believe that we can create a hell on earth for us to live in, or we can bring the kingdom of heaven to earth with us. And I loved how Torrance said it. You guys go look at that video. But we're not citizens of any of these places or any of these kingdoms that we make up for ourselves, but we're citizens of heaven if we act like it. And that's
good.
My political answer.
That's a good answer. It's a good answer. Let me ask you another controversial question. You have mentioned that live performances now are almost like karaoke sessions.
Oh yeah, where did you read that at?
I'm all over the place.
That's deep. I love this.
So first of all, we'll answer.
You're gonna put me on a soapbox now.
Yeah. Tell us what you mean by that, and then we'll play this, and then we'll follow. I've got follow-up questions because I think what you're talking about is brilliant. I think so. Let's find out together.
I'm gonna lose again. Do I have to talk? I just want to see if this is gonna work.
You have to answer the question.
I'm gonna. Here's the thing. I know you're not beating me now. On one hand, at least. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Okay.
This is my favorite game ever now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
here's the thing.
You know what? You did
all the rest of them and still win.
That's a good point.
That's the problem. So here's the thing.
Okay.
What I mean by it can turn into karaoke sessions. There's a value system, kind of, especially in Christian music. So we've devalued ourselves. We saw this happen.
We as in musicians, performers?
I think musicians, Christian music, all these things. Now there is a big point to say, we want this to be accessible to everyone. If somebody wants to come to my show and they don't have 10 or 15 or 20 bucks to come, I'm gonna let them in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's still a value to it, and we still have to, provide and pay for the expenses and this kind of stuff. There's inherent value there. So what's happened is we've devalued to a point where music really doesn't make us any money by selling it. Streams don't make us any money there. So the only place artists make money on is on the road. The buy-in for me to come do a show costs this much money.
Right.
And it always costs that much money. So what happens is there's not enough money to go around to pay for it all. So in order for guys to make livings especially in our genre, if people want like a certain type of experience, they've got to cut back on the creative value and the people and the staff and the crew and that kind of thing, so they can meet the market demand. Right. So what that means is you can afford you and another guy, or
not a full band,
not a whole thing.
Yeah.
So then, in order to create that experience, guys come in and they play with tracks or they do whatever. So you've got 2 guys or 3 guys up there, just press and play to the record and playing along. So to me, when I say karaokeing to our own songs, that's kind of what I mean. That makes my heart so sad. I think there's a responsibility that gets put on us as the artists to say, okay, we can figure this out, and we can make this stuff really great. We can connect with our fans. We can up the creativity and value for what we're doing and bringing in these shows, and we can do a good job, and kind of bring it all together for everybody. That responsibility lies on us. So I don't expect anybody else to do that for us, and so that's what I'm trying to do.
That's good. That's good. Shows you care about the audience.
I do. I really
and the
do.
music.
I do.
And your finances.
I gotta feed my kids.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, we got one more.
Okay.
And
Oh no.
We duct tape our hands to the controllers so that you can't let go of it.
I'm fine. Are we? This is gonna be good. And I'm dubbed out. Listen, I'm just doing this to make you feel good.
What, losing?
Yeah.
You're losing? I'm starting to believe that.
We're kind of getting a little whiny earlier. I know you got to make a living too, and I don't want this to affect your magic. So.
Well, I appreciate it. With people being able, even like to say like 3 people being able to make or break somebody, like at K-Love.
Yeah.
3 people at K-Love being able to make or break somebody's career. How tough is it to write authentic music that means something, and music that just sells because it sounds good? I mean, obviously it can be both. Is there stuff that you write that you're like, I can write that, but it's a little deep, it's a little personal, it's not going to be a big sell? Just tell me about that. About the song, right?
It's gonna be fine.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm fine. I feel like I'm gonna take it in one hand and try to win in this one. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna let left hand loose.
Okay, that's good.
That's all I'm saying.
That's good. That's a good idea. Is this blocking your view?
It's not blocking my view. I'm fine.
How about now? Here we go. I hate being taped down. Okay, Chris, fine. You just run the game.
So
wait, I can't reach the button.
I think you're asking 2 different questions. I think it might have shocked me.
I didn't get it. Did you not get it?
Yeah,
We gotta do it again?
No, it shocked me over here.
Are you just that manly?
I think at this point I'm used to it. This is great. Okay, listen.
I'm just proud of myself that it's still taped. There's been times when I've ripped this. Watch this. Watch.
It's pretty good.
Pull my hand hair.
But I will say now, and it's 2020. Okay, so radio for our market still is the biggest thing that gets our music out there. But there's also other ways to release music and do things, and I've been able to do this in some cool ways, where I can put out a song that I really love and believe in, that I know can minister to people on the radio.
Right.
And then there's other songs that I say, you know what, I know this isn't a radio song, but it still has a special place for me. A song, for instance, that I wrote for my wife a couple of years ago that I put out. It's just a pop song, and got New Music Friday on Spotify.
Wow.
So then you get, 1 million listens in a really short time to an audience that's broader than our Christian genre, which is really interesting. So now we have the opportunity not only to minister to people who are turning on the Christian radio stations, but we can also minister to people who are just turning on Spotify and trying to listen to pop songs or rap songs or country songs or whatever it is through this playlist thing. And that's pretty interesting to me. And honestly, that doesn't scare me in any ways. That kind of excites me because it gives us more avenues and places to minister to people, to put music out. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing Christian music. We're not in it for the money. We're not in it for any of this stuff. We're not in it to be cool or anything like that. We're here to minister to people we're here to speak life, love, and truth into people's lives. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I let you shock me a few times, let you win, because I didn't want you to feel bad.
Well, I feel like I would be considered the champion because I was the last one to win. So if there was a belt...
That's fine. You can tell yourself that. That's good.
If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. Is it there? Down there? Somewhere. And you know what? Even if you don't like it, just hit the subscribe button. It's not going to hurt you to hit the subscribe button, and it makes us feel really good about ourselves. Please? And like us. Anything else? And send us gift certificates to Mexican restaurants. Anything else?